So I'm answering some question on how can you use AI to save money if you have a catalog, especially if you are a fashion company or in general you do have a catalog for B2C and B2B. So how much can we really save by moving into AI-based catalog production? The saving is really huge. So I'm gonna show you this slide where you can have an idea of the drop for producing a product page with a volume of 1,000 product SKUs, and you can see it's a huge drop. So you can go under 50 from something like 160, where you have a huge drop on copywriting, translation, video making, and AI shooting. So it's a really important drop. A second question most of the time is what's the break-even point compared to like a traditional production? So if you do have to invest into a system or an integration for AI processes, usually you can pay the system and an integration with the saving you had the first year. So I'm going to repeat this. If you invest into AI automation, you can pay the investment with the saving you are making in the first year, sometimes even with the first collection, as in fashion you do have shooting and catalog production 2 times per year. How can AI help you scale faster without scaling costs? Where this is a huge one. So after you set up an AI automation system, you have the chance to really scale your content production really much beyond the limit you had before, because you had limits on time and costs. Now it's not scaling, so it's not a linear scaling. If you do have to produce like 100 images more or 100 videos more, you have really much cheaper content production costs for each content. So the idea, you can scale in more languages, you can scale in more countries, you can personalize the experience, and you can have a much broader impact. Talking about quality and quality control and the creativity behind the actual process, is the quality of images and video on par with our brand standard? Is sometimes we get asked this. So, well, yeah. It's not for granted, it's not magic. So like the traditional process, you do need a good quality assurance process, which is part of the job of the guy that are making the AI integration in the system. So it's part of our job in our case. And AI by itself can make mistakes, can have hallucination, but you can reach the perfect level of quality. You do have different processes to go with the perfect fitting, for example, for particular garments. So, well, yeah, you should check out the deep dive on AI shooting, for example, that is on my school community for this. Do we have control on the look and feel of the AI outputs? Talking about lighting, styling, and brand tone. Yes, and sometimes no, but in general, for the shooting of e-commerce, for garment on model, or for a campaign shot with AI, well, in these cases, you have a lot of control. And if you use an hybrid process, so you combine a fitting shot together with the AI for model swapping, or you can use the AI for background generation, stuff like this. You have control over each single element, but you do need a good process for this. What are the risks of losing uniqueness or brand consistency with AI? Well, you do have some risk if you don't use AI creating a guideline for this. If you're not searching for like choosing your own models you're generating with AI. So like in any kind of process, even with the traditional, you still have basically the same issues. You just need to still pay attention to them. Talking about the process and the workflow integration, I get asked sometimes, how do we integrate AI into our production and the e-commerce workflows? So this is like any kind of like technical integration, which can be integrated via APIs or exchange of files. It does really work well with the APIs, and if you're choosing a partner that is able to work with or a good platform, it's very seamless. and plug and play. So yeah, you don't have to worry about, because all the platforms now are ready to get integrated. I will keeping part of the human team in the loop. For example, the stylist, the photographers, video makers. So yeah, of course, you're gonna keep in the loop, especially your art director, or who's in charge of quality assurance, direction, and you can keep in the loop the technician too. You're not working now with a different team. You're gonna keep your own team as with a different role. They're gonna be supervising, they're gonna be advising on style still, like they were doing, but they're gonna do less operational job and repetitive tasks. So yeah, which parts should be automated for the fastest ROI? So, well, I had a slide for this with the quick wins. On the catalog, you have the huge drops for and translation, because you're dropping basically 90% of the cost. So you're gonna start with these. They are also the simpler, and they can be built inside a system that you have, or they can be built inside no-code workflows, which are very handy, very useful, and practical to use. So it can be learned very fast. And second, I would go with shooting, because usually you have a huge volume of cost on the shooting. You can drop more than 50% probably on that. So by volume, the shooting is the most impactful. So these are the three I would advise to look into it. Just because the categorization and tagging, which is very powerful for performance, is though usually a bit hidden, because inside brands tagging is done by employees, but like if it was something not very important. But yeah, that's also something really key, so don't forget about that. Well, then I get some question about tools, like what are the best platforms and for AI production. Where this would be a really long answer. You need to combine different tools, and in any case, if you're a brand, you will choose a partner to create the workflows, to create the systems all together, and you're gonna integrate different tools. Just to give you an example, you can use a tool for going from still life to model pictures for AI shooting, and then you're gonna use a different tool for AI videos. You're gonna use different tools for quality assurance on the other processes. So you shouldn't really focus too much on tools, because they are very evolving. Every week you have a new tool, and so the most important part is the process, and you should choose a partner that is capable of working with interchangeable tools. Because tomorrow it's gonna come the new version of DeepSeek, which is gonna be better than ChatGPT at doing quality assurance, for example. Or, now the Google video tool is disrupting the industry compared to the others, but you have to test it. So yeah, tools are not everything. Process is king. Tools are the queen. So yeah, go with this. How do you structure the AI pipeline from still life to e-commerce ready content? So, well, this is another technical question. I won't deep dive into this, but you can have a process that starts with still life images, then you do AI shooting for on model pictures, then you can start AI video production, and in parallel you can start AI tagging and copywriting, and after you have the first version in one language copywriting, you can start the translation. So this is a comparison between manual and traditional activities, so the before and the AI process after you introduce AI. So you can see on actually like six activities, you're gonna replace 5 with AI, and you're gonna create a workflow for these. It's gonna be integrated in your systems. Talking about content enrichment and what leads to more perform, not just the saving. I get a question about how is AI smart in creating tags and categories. So it's very smart. Honestly, it can be designed to create different kind of tags. For example, in fashion, you do a tag for use case, or you do tag for aesthetics, style. And what is very powerful is that after you tag the product catalog, you can tag the customers, because customer buy products, and so you can acquire the tags from the product and they can become the tags for the customer, and the customer can be segmented into very specific segments you can use for CRM. So it's very powerful, and this can support business intelligence a lot. And I get asked about search engine optimization. So right now you have to use AI basically to do a good job. You can support multi-language SEO and e-commerce content, of course, and if you have a good SEO consultant, you can get ready for the new AI search engine optimization, which is another new topic, you know. Governance and approval, you have some topics. You're gonna have a quality assurance team, but can be outsourced. So usually when we do provide to a brand the process, we are providing the quality assurance, and we just share with the brand final user interface with the final product they can review. And in case they do have specific feedback, because for example, the technical team or the AI team is not capable of recognizing perfectly the fitting, where should a shirt end on a shoulder, for example, or detail like that. So because they know the product very well, and so in this case you're gonna have feedbacks, and you're gonna regenerate or fix with traditional, you know, photo digital retouch. I don't know if you say that. With Photoshop, basically, the issues, and then share the final product in. So you have some reworks, of course. On the topic of rights and copyright, it's a bit open, but when you start working with a generated model, you get out from the model rights purchase. Of course, if you're not reproducing our existing model with AI, which is a big topic, which will be regulated. But for now, if you're just generating or using existing generated models which does not exist in reality, you're gonna be fine. And for the copyright on text, just use a safe and free integration of tools, and you're gonna be perfectly fine. So these were some questions on how you can save up to 70% on AI catalog. Some of the pro and cons, and if you want to deep dive into these topics for leaders and managers, you should look into my school community, and if you haven't, you should get my book. It's AI Traction. You can find it on Amazon, and I'm inviting for free students into the school community, and I invite for free some managers every week, so it's sure to get in touch and DM me. See you in the next one.